I remember, back in the lecture halls at the University of California, I was simply captivated by the mysteries of nature. The equations of quantum mechanics unfolded like poetry before my eyes. At that time, I could never have imagined that these equations would one day become instruments of war. I told myself that science should be pure, that it should illuminate the world rather than destroy it. In 1939, as the fires of war engulfed Europe, my world was forced to change. When I received a letter from Einstein warning that Germany might be developing nuclear weapons, I was struck with shock and an overwhelming sense of responsibility. I knew we could not stand idly by. And so I joined the Manhattan Project, a plan named for the defense of the nation, yet destined to intertwine irrevocably with the fate of humanity. The desolate highlands of Los Alamos became both crucible and torment for my mind. Each day, the hum of machines filled the laboratories. Radioactive substances glimmered with a cold, white light in glass tubes. I became a commander, but also a witness. I watched young physicists pour themselves into calculations and experiments, and sometimes I wondered if they truly understood that what we were pursuing was no longer mere scientific truth, but the potential for annihilation. I remember the first time I heard that a nuclear chain reaction had succeeded. I stood at the window, staring at the setting sun over the barren land, and a feeling of vertigo washed over me. People were cheering, celebrating. But I knew that behind every triumph lay humanity's latent self-destruction. As the creator, I could not escape the weight of responsibility, a burden that pressed upon my chest like a block of lead. Days passed, and I swayed between science and morality. The design of the atomic bomb unfolded page by page before me. Each formula advanced, each calculation refined, was a gamble with the future of humankind. I recall saying to my colleagues, "We now hold the power to create the end of the world." They laughed, but I could not share their ease. The laughter echoed harshly in the corners of the laboratory. I understood then that scientific triumph could be a failure of conscience. Eventually, we chose to test it. In the deserts of New Mexico, the explosion pierced the night with blinding light. The heat wave and shock wave reminded me that this was not merely a release of energy, it was a test of human reason. I stood at a distance, watching the fireball rise, and in my mind echoed a line I had once read in the Bhagavad Gita, "Now I am become death, the destroyer of worlds." In that moment, my heart sank into an abyss. I realized, with chilling clarity, that we had crossed a line from which there was no return.